Yes, these are all the things we have seen in the past session. So avoid touching your face. You should not touch your face. And I have given a tip like keeping handkerchief with you or anything. So that helps you to avoid touching your face so that you can hold the handkerchiefs firmly. So when you okay, so when you're coming for public speaking, what are all the things you should have? So the very first thing what you want to have is okay. So you should create a confidence in the people as well. Of course, you would be very confident in your points and you would be very confident in your presentation. At the same time, it is your responsibility to create a confidence in the public also. So, how can you do this? There are some tips. One thing is have a positive posture, as we said. So, do not slouch or do not bend or anything. Have a positive posture like this. Yes, just look at this posture. These kinds of posture will create a very good impression with the person who is in front of you. If you are attending an interview or if you are attending, that is, if you are speaking at any places, these kind of very erect posture will shows that you are very confident in your points. And if the listener understands that you are very confident in your points, then he would give some time and he would give his attention to understand what you're saying. And always keep your head up, don't put your head down, or don't put that is bend your head at anywhere side, or don't turn your head at anywhere. So put your head upright and just look at the person or just look at the congregation in a very uplifted head. So that make you well, that gives you a confidence also, and that gives you a very good connection with the audience also. So leaning too far forward or backward may look aggressive. Sometimes leaning too forward means it shows that you are bending front, or leaning too much of backward, right? It shows that you are moving backward and create an aggressive or arrogant behavior. See these kind of thing. The head is up, the body posture is right, the hands are right, it is side by side, these kind of postures. And practice and that is practice and perfect your posture. It is not a bad thing that you practice. So when you are about to speak, go to the mirror and stand in front of the mirror and practice your postures. So with the mirror you can easily find out which posture suits you best, and you can easily understand at what position you are more confident and what position you look very pretty and at what position you look very that is bold and anything. So for to get that you want to examine yourself, and also you want to practice the posture. And before coming to the concentration, if you practice the posture and if you do the things do the same posture again and again, then it would be your habit. Then you don't want to practice anymore. You can easily carry over with the same posture that creates a very confident. See, this is a very good posture when you stand in front of a congregation or the people. So he's standing straight and he's putting his fingers over the side of his body, and his head is lifted. His head is lifted, and his mouth or uplifted, and his shoulders are straight. This shows that he is very confident. And open hand gestures. So spread your hands apart. Always when you speak, as like what we have seen in the previous class, do not fold your arms. Do not fold your arms in front of the body. So always have a very flexible arms in front of the congregation. For example, you can swing your arms, or you can move your arms up and down, or you can touch your body part when you are saying about, see, when you are speaking about the eyes, you can touch your eyes with the fingers, or you can open your eyes with the fingers. So you can use your hands effectively to indicate something or to say something that helps you a lot. And also sometimes, so you are willing to share some close ideas, you can just use your hand gestures to share something, or you can use the hand gestures to reveal some secrets also. And these kind of using the hand gestures gives that is adds value to the expressions, and also it creates an enthusiasm in the audience side, or it creates some interest to listen what you are saying on the interviewer side also. So when the interviewer is watching you, he when he watches your hand gestures, he would be easily attracted with that, with the way you speak. So first he will listen what you are speaking, that is how you are speaking. Later he will come to, and later he will listen what you are speaking. So the first impression is the very best impression. So when you impress the interviewer at the very first time with these hand gestures, then your chance of getting the job is more. Because when the interviewer or listener says what you are saying, or when they ask what you are doing, so you are not that much interested, right? But when a person, he he shows a more hands gesture, and he is very comfortable in thing, and he understood all the scenario, and what he did is he bought a thing and gave. So receiving the message and sending the message, for both for receiving the message as well as for sending the message, hand gesture is very much important, and it is a very great tool to avoid more complexity or to avoid over expression, as well as to give over performance. So from all these scenarios, the using hand gestures will support us. Yeah, this is what using hand gesture. See the picture. So the lady is using the hand gesture. So she feels more attractive, and she feels more connected, and more connected with the public gathering. So this is what we are trying to say. So when she is so right. So this is what we are trying to say. I think I'm not able to hear you. Okay. So this is what we are that is trying to say. And what is the tip? So if you notice your audience concentration is slightly forward, then what you them is when you see your audience is sneaking something forward, so that the audience is not able to understand what the speaker is speaking means. What the speaker can do, very simple. The speaker can listen, right? Yes, so when you speak, so this suggests that you are taking them to your confidence and will help you to regain their attention. And what are all the body languages for interviews? Because you are about to attend an interview, so what are all the body languages you should follow in interviews to hit the job? The very first thing is the body language can also help you stay calm in situations where emotions are high, such as negotiation. Yeah, not only the negotiations, but there are so much of yeah, that is messages that you want to convey, and using the hand gestures that keeps your emotion cool. For example, when you are tempering a lot, that is when you are in a very short temper about what has happened, just what you do is close both of your eyes. Close both of your eyes and close both of your hands for 2 minutes or 1 minute. That really calms you down, and that when you use the hand gestures to speak about a negative thing or some negotiations to a person, the person would be easily pleased by your asking, and he would be easily pleased by your expressions, so that all the things what you need would be approved easily. So when you are running into high emotions such as negotiation, the full of angry and disappointment, these kind of negotiations or these kind of negative feelings, really the hand gesture will work a lot. That helps you to communicate the messages to the person or to the congregation, even if you are not getting good response from them. So the hand gestures will really help you a lot in striving to the audience, right? So use mirroring. Mirroring is a thing where you can find yourself some more creative. What is that thing? What is happening there? Means, see, imagine you are sitting in front of a person, or you are sitting in an organization. So you are sitting in front of a person whom you like most, or in front of a person who is the head of the organization, who is playing a good role in the organization. So there you can apply the mirror concept. What is that mirror concept? Means, see, if the person is standing in front of you, you can stand in front of the person. And if the person is inserting his hands into his pant pockets, then you can also insert your hand into the packet. So that's like mirroring. That is following the person's behavior who is in front of you. Of course, it's a very good behavior, and that helps you to maintain emotional stability. But what you should not do here means, you should not copy all the things from the person. You should not copy all the gestures from the person. So just you can adapt an action and you can go with it. And when the person changes his action, you should not change the action. You should continue the same action where you are comfortable with. But we should not copy, that is, we should not do all the things what he does or she does, but we want to take some actions from them. So, what is the use of it and what is the purpose of it means? So, when you follow the same posture in the person who are in front of you, the person would like it more, and the person will think that you are same as like him or her. So that creates a very good connection between you and the interviewer, so that the interviewer might ask you very less questions, and the interviewer can easily guess your character, and the interviewer can easily come to know who you are, and you can easily go up with the questions, and you can easily build a very good rapport system. So that why, so if you can subtly mirror body language of the person you are talking to, and that will make them feel more at ease and can build rapport. But as I said, don't copy their every gesture, and you will make them uncomfortable. So imagine if you follow all the gestures and the person is doing, really they feel very that is uncomfortable, and they will start taking some postures also, and they will start, that is, they will stop communicating through the body language also. That creates a very critical situation to you. So use mirroring. Always you can use mirroring, that's not a problem, but you should not copy all of their every gesture, but you can take some of their gestures and you can apply to them. And relax your body. So this is what is important. Maintain the appearance of calm by keeping your hands still and breathing slowly. So when you're standing in front of a congregation, or when you're standing in front of a person, or when you're standing in front of an organization presentation, when you that is, when you speak very fast, and you may speak very anxious, and when you speak very nervous, so definitely no one is going to listen your words. So what they will do is, just they will watch your actions and watch your hand gestures. So always when you speak at the public, or when you are attending an interview, give a very relaxed posture and a very relaxed face expression, and breathe slowly. So if you feel that you're breathing very fast, just take 1 minute and drink a cup of water, and then you can start expressing yourself or introducing yourself. So showing a very relaxed body and showing a very relaxed exposure is that much important, that because that create a comfortable zone for the listener. So then the listener will trust you that you know something, and the listener will trust you that you are capable of conveying a message. So if the person trusts you that that you are capable of conveying a message, the person will automatically start listening you. There you can get good attention, and there you can get good fans for your speaking. So relaxing your body posture is very much important and look interested. So sometimes if you are asked a complex question and if you are say imagine the interviewer is asking you a very tricky question, or if the interviewer is just checking your ability or your critical thinking strategy, so they would raise a very critical question or a very complex question. So how you can handle those questions with your body postures? It's simple. In that cases, that is putting the that is placing your hand over your chin, or just scratching your head, or just scratching your chin or cheeks. So that is allowable and that is not restricted, because as I said in the first thing, the hand gestures, the body language will work very effectively when you are conveying the message very strongly. That is, when you feel that your message is true, and when you feel that your content are true, and when you feel that your answers are honest, the body language will work a lot. That is that maintaining the straight posture and everything. But if you are asking a complex questions or any kind of difficult questions, the variations you can show in your in your body language is just take your hand and scratch your head, or just show a very complex or a very confused expression in your face. For that, you should not bend down. You should not change the body posture like bending down or seeing somewhere else, or putting your hands folded too. That's not a thing. But you can show some realities in your face, like getting confused, or a thinking posture, or a thing that is which you are trying to remember. These kind of poses are acceptable, and these kind of gestures are also acceptable when you are arised with a complex question. But you should not change it. That is, you should not show a very different position in your body, like slouching or bending back or stretching. These kind of things are not allowable even when you are arised a complex questions, or even when you are asked to leave the room for a sake of reason. So that creates an interest. See these kind of postures. So when you are asked a complex question, and lighten up. Lighten up is a thing. Lighten up means, see, imagine you are in a party, or you are in a place where you have a very personal circle. So people are attracted to a positive person always. So if you are one among the 10, or if you are one among the 50, so if you speak positive words, and if you have a very genuine smile, and if you encourage everyone, and if you are responding everyone politely, so that shows that you have a very positive body posture. So all the persons will be easily attracted by these positive body posture persons. Also, if you are attending an interview with the 10 to 20%, so among the 20%, you can make yourself unique. How can you make yourself unique? So if anybody is asking you a question, and the interviewer, that is when you are waiting for the interview, just reply them with a smile. And always when you are about to say something, just say all the best, or just say handle the situation like this. You can give some tips. So these kind of positive body posture will attract the people, and that makes you very unique from the different people. That we call it as lighten up. And most importantly, when you are speaking with someone, when you are in an interview, or when you are speaking with someone at a public place, you should not laugh for your own jokes. If you laugh for your own jokes, then that shows that you are that is that you are being needy, and at the same time the smiling must suggest insincerity also. So do not laugh for your own jokes. So saying joke and laughing in a place is not acceptable in the interviews. So if someone is joking, of course you can laugh, or you can enjoy the joking. That's not a problem in the interview session. But you should not laugh, you should not speak your own jokes, and you should not laugh for your own jokes. That we call it as lighten up. If you lighten up, that is lighten up means you already have all the skills, that is you already have all the communication skills, how to maintain the body posture and everything. But one thing you can add up, that is you add up to a skill that lightens you up and that shows you very unique among the 10 or hundreds. So that is the one of the skill like giving positive replies or giving positive feedbacks, and also that is laughing, not laughing for your own jokes, or when someone says your name, just greet them. So these kind of thing that lightens up your body language also. And go slow, this is one of the thing. So when you are speaking, go slow. Go slow means it doesn't mean that you want to maintain a constant time difference between the word to word. It doesn't mean that. Go slow means you want to concentrate which information is more important and which information is less important. So you want to give more importance to the messages that occupies the greatest strength, or that occupies the highest notification. And also you can convey the small messages or the unwanted messages or the key points or the relevant points, like you can show a very less interest. So go slow does not mean make deliberative actions. They make you seem thoughtful and confident. So if someone calls out to you, don't snap your neck in that direction. So turn it slowly and try not to look into a slow mo shot. Avoid fidgeting, tapping your glass or table or shaking your leg. See, you are sitting in an interview congregation, or you are sitting in an interview panel. The person, that is one of the interviewer, is asking you, please give me the files. You should not suddenly stand up, you should not suddenly shake your head by hitting the table or hitting at any place inside the room and just opening the files very hastily and giving the files to the person. No, that's not a good behavior. So that's not a good body language to the interview. What you can do is just stand up gently or move your chair gently, turn your head gently, so that lift the file on the table gently, or you can just stand up and give the presentation file to the person gently. So these kind of gentle behaviors will create a very good body language. That the word go slow means. This go slow means this is not just speaking very slowly like I how are you? No, 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 not like that. So what is the thing is you can go for a very slow modulations. The modulations what you are showing between the words, the modulations what you are showing between the sentences, you can maintain a gap and you can show some difference in the modulations, which points contains more important and which points have the less important, and what is the secret to be revealed. So these kind of modulations you do, and you can show some modulations in your body languages also, moving slowly and shifting your head very gently and smiling very slowly. Do not laugh, and do not have a very broad smile in your introduction, and do not smile unnecessarily at a person. So these kind of body languages you should maintain when you are attending an interview session. And mind your drink. Sometimes it is a very good manner also. Mind your drink. When you see, sometimes you would get a chance to drink a glass of water, or sometimes you would get a chance to drink a glass of juice in your interview. So sometimes if you are given a glass of water or a glass of juice in an interview, or suddenly what you can do is when you are about to drink your drink, the interviewer asks you a question. At the time, what we will do, just we will hold the glasses for some time. So while holding the glass and when you are speaking to the person, always, that is, hold the glass just below your chest. So don't hold your glass in front of the chest, or don't hold your glass just below to the mouth. So you should not show the glass to the person while you're speaking. So you should put down the glass just very near to your abdomen or on your lap. When you are speaking with the person, the glass should be there. And if you stop, that is, if you stop speaking with the person, then you can raise the glass and have your drink. Again, if you are asked a question, then put down the glass on your lap or just lower the glass. Then you respond something. Then you can. So this is a way that you can handle the soft drinks. That is, you can handle drinking while speaking with the other person. So this is a very good sign of that. It is a very good body language that shows you are very gentle and you are very professional, and you can handle all the quizzes very easily, because handling the glass of water when speaking with a person or when speaking with an unknowing person or presenting yourself is really very much very critical. The interviewer know it, because how you are handling two situations at the same time, this is what they will notice in this process. So then you can answer very well with your body language. That is, you can show them how you are gentle in toggling between the two situations. That is, drinking the soft drink as well as answering the questions. So how you are toggling between these two situations will be a very precise parameter to analyze yourself and to show yourself. So if you show a very good body language between these two things, because you cannot explain all the things if you are asked a question. So how will you handle two situations, or how will you handle two challenges at a time, even if you give a very long paragraph about and this very long explanations about how you would be in these two situations, it will not convey that much effective message. But these kind of body languages, that is maintaining a gentle move and maintaining a gentle head shake and putting your glass down while speaking, and just with a smile taking the glass and put down the glass in the place where it was already. So these kind of your body language clearly shows the person that you can handle both the situations very effectively, and you are very capable in working with the challenges, and you are very capable in handling the situation gently and smoothly. So this is what the body language plays a very vital role. That is expecting your traits and expecting your it is exhibiting your character and exhibiting your knowledge and skill. So when you present yourself to a person, always keep all the body languages very clear and keep all the body languages very focused, so that you can present you very well, and the person who is in front of you can understand you very well, so that it would be very easy for them to filter you to the next level also. So these are all some of the body postures or body languages that you can use in the public speaking and the interview speaking skills. And so body language so recommends striking a power pose for 2 minutes in private before a stressful situation. This is a tip to you. What you can do is, if you feel very anxious or if you feel very stressed, what you can do is just you take 2 minutes and go to a restroom and stand in front of a mirror. Just practice some body postures that gives you more confidence. Just practice some body postures that makes you to present yourself to the best version. Then you come back to the panel, or then you come back to the session, and then you follow the same practice portion what you have see, that is what you have practiced before. That helps you a lot to give a very good course, as well as it tricks your body hormone levels, so that we feel very more confident and less stressed with these things. So, and this is the thing I want to conclude about that. What are all the best body postures that you can go up with the thing? And I would like to go for this one, that is, what is the virtual body language? What is the virtual body language means? So we are in a situation, that is, we are facing a digital side, that is everything gone up to digital. So how we can face the digital world, that is, the body languages are different from the virtual world and from the physical world. Everything is virtual right now. So virtual in the sense, we that is, we are not meeting the person in front, or we are not meeting the person physically. So we shifted to a virtual world where we can show ourselves. So what is that? How can we, that is, what are all the body languages we should concentrate in presenting ourselves with the virtual world? That is what we are going to discuss now. So, first of all, let's discuss something about the difference between the physical world and the virtual world. So, I want to quote some examples also how the virtual world differs from the physical world. The first thing is the virtual world or the physical world. Let's take the physical world. Imagine you are attending an interview. So, before going to an interview place, you would face a very lot of that is you would see different kind of situations, or you would see a different kind of people doing different tasks. So what you do is, so you might be in a very great preparations, and you have got all the answers and you have prepared for all the questions and presentations and everything. And when you go into that world, so when you are crossing some areas, when you are crossing some public places, that creates a very different thought in your brain. So sometimes what you have imagined, so you would have imagined some things that needs to be discussed in an interview. But when you see the real world, you could find those imaginations are not true, and those imaginations are failed someone else. So that creates a great distraction in your mind. So you would start to feel whether am I right, so whether my answers are right, or whether I'm going in a right path. So will my answers that is would my answers are acceptable. So there will be so much of questions raised in your mind before you reach the interview spot. So with so much of distractions and with so much of complex questions you have, that then you reach the interview phase. So think of your emotions and think of your hormone levels at that situation. While coming to the virtual, imagine that your interview is scheduled at 10:15 a.m. Then you just sleep, you just eat, and you do all the things, and you will start to get ready for the interview by 10 a.m. So just you will sit and come and sit in front of the system, just you will switch on the system, and what you do is you will start to perform yourself. There you have a very balanced hormone level, and there you have a very balanced confused state, and there you have a very balanced even the EQ also. So while comparing these two situations, so what is that body language differs here? When a person meets all the physical surrounding and got into so much of confusion and got into the interview state, the first of all, the person finds very difficult in presenting himself, or with a lot of questions that is confused in his brain, he would not able to sit front of the congregation, and he would not able to sit with the confidence, or he would not able to give the correct answers in a confident way. And when coming to the interview, the virtual interview, so there are no distractions. So you directly go to the desk and you directly sit straight and you can directly start presenting yourself. There it is easy for you to maintain your strong and confident body posture. So that's a great advantage also. So presenting yourself in front of the camera is a great advantage. Even we can take up in this way. Presenting ourselves to a human is very difficult, but presenting ourselves to a device is very easy, because we cannot get that much response from the system. Sometimes you may fail due to the technical error, or sometimes you just watch the camera and you would that is you are not able to see, that is you will be continuously speaking in watching the camera, but you would fail to listen or you would fail to see how the person is reacting, because the person would be in a very small window and the window would be at any corner of the screen. So what you do is you will start just presenting yourself and you would fail to watch what is happening and what is the face reaction of that person. So in those cases, the body language just differs. So how the body language differs in the physical environment, the body language just varies. How it varies, because we are observing the person constantly. So we are observing what the person is thinking and what the person is showing us, and how, whether he is interested to listeners or whether he is not interested to listeners, and which point on what, for what points he is shaking his head, and for what points he is simply just listening without saying anything. So we are getting instant observations when the person is in front of us, so that we easily change the body language, and that creates a very great connection between us, because when you are saying something and when you see the person is not interested and the person is trying to object that point, then suddenly what you can do is you can just change the talk at that instant. Then you can make yourself, that is, you can make your presentation to a next level. That helps you a lot. But when you're attending interview in a virtual environment, there first thing is, it is where there is a great impossibility to watch the person's reaction in the window, because we will see the camera. So we cannot see the person through the camera. We can see, even we cannot see us to the camera, through the camera. So even you cannot see you, and even you cannot see the person through the camera. Just you see a device, so the device will not react, the camera will not react, and you cannot get what the person is feeling about, or what the person is thinking about your presentation, or what the person is, whether he is very adhesive to your point or he is not adhesive to your point, whether he is giving any objection or not, anything you could not see. So at that time, what you do is just you sit straight and you will start presenting yourself. So there you want to put up your concentration. So what you want to change there in the virtual environment means you should watch the person's reaction. So what the person is reacting, and how he is reacting, and what he is about to say, and what are all the things he would like to say. There are so much of factors there. When you see them, you can easily understand them. And in the physical environment, you could get the body languages from hand, from leg, or from shoulders, from the body position, and everything. But in the virtual environment, the body language is completely the face only. The face, and sometimes you can go up to the shoulders, not more than that. Even if you use so much of hand gestures, or even if you use so much of hand movements, it will not create a great effect, because when you move your hand gesture, sometimes it will hide your face, or sometimes it will create a very fast moving screen, so that sometimes that irritates the listener also. So when coming to the virtual environment, the body language is completely the face and face only. So what you can do is, the very first thing is, you can apply much of the body language guidance to the video calls too. So you would just have a very little space, less space, as I said, you have a very little less space, and you can show up your face only, and that face should work without. So with that, how you can make your person to feel more attentive, or how you can make the interviewer, that is how you can create a very good impression over the interviewer to listen yourself, or to listen to the points. That is what I want to discuss here. So the first thing is, get your camera set up right. As I said, your face is the only thing which is going to speak a lot. So get your camera set up right. So it should be set up right. It should not be close, very close. So you can also take out these dimensions. The ratio would be 60 is to 40. 60 is to 40 means the display, or how you are displaying yourself. So the screen should contain 60 percentage your image, and the 40 percentage should be the background. You should not show yourself 100 percentage to the screen. So when the person is seeing you from the device on the screen, you should occupy only the 60 percentage. Then your background should occupy the 40 percentage. So maintain this ratio 60 is to 40. So what is that 60 is to 40 means? When you give 60 is to 40 display range, you can easily project yourself in a reality environment. As like how you are sitting in front of them, you can show them in the virtual environment also. As well as what you can do is when you are moving your hand, or when you are raising your hand, when you are moving doing some hand gestures, that will be easily visible, and also that will not create a very glazy moment. One thing, another thing is when you are sitting straight and when you are not slouching, so you can also put your posture straight, and that you can, that is little bit the person can see how you are sitting straight, and that makes them to that is to understand that you are very confident in it. So to achieve all these things, the very first thing what you want to do is put your camera right and have a display of 60 is to 40 ratio. 60 is your body and 40 is your background, and leave room to gesture without hitting the screen. So when you are trying to present anything, or when you are standing up and presenting something, uh, concentrate that you should not hit the screen that is behind you, or you should not hit the device screen also, the laptop or the PC screen also. These are all the body languages you should maintain when you are attending an interview virtually. That is, you should put your camera straight, put the display at 60 to 40, and when you are doing some gestures, or when you are showing some hand gestures, do not hit the screen. Do not hit the screen at your back, as well as do not hit the laptop screen. So this is the body language you want to that is you want to concentrate. And tidy your workspace and find a quiet area for your video call. Of course, you need a very quiet place when you are attending an interview. Since you are in your comfortable zone, and since you are attending the interview comfortably from your place, it doesn't shows that you can show up all the things where you are. So even if it is known that you are attending interview from your home, or even if it is known well that you are giving your presentation from the home, you should not explore it in the presentation. That is, you should not show your room background, or you should not show the all the kitchen objects that you are in your room, and you should not show your bed. You should not show your coffee cup, or you should not show your personal accessories that is on the table. You should avoid showcasing those objects, because that is none of the part of an interview. The part of an interview is you only. You cannot, that is when you are physically present, you cannot carry your home to the interview place, right? Imagine when you carry all your home objects to the interview place, it is not acceptable. The same, if you are interview, that is if you are attending a virtual interview, definitely you should not explore your home. For that, what you can do, you can just apply any virtual background, or just put up an empty or blank screen and sitting in front of the screen, and that is avoid showing all the objects that is in front of you. And if you are placing your laptop on the table, take remove all the coffee mugs, that are used coffee mugs, or the used papers, or some scrambles, or the alarms that are on your table. Avoid showing all these things in an interview. So you should show yourself in a very blank, like there is background, and in a very quiet place. You should not sit in a very noisy environment. Sometimes you may not get the chance to sit in a quiet place, but it is very better to sit in a quiet place. What is the reason you want to be in a quiet place? Means that gives you more confidence. That makes you more confident to explore your ideas. So that makes you to feel that you are in an official place, that you are not in your personal place. So for these reasons, you should minimize the distractions, and that could make the attendees to see yourself or to attend your points also. And this is an important thing. Maintain eye contact. Even if you are using the device, you should maintain eye contact. How you can maintain eye contact? Watch the camera always. So see the camera. Of course you should see the person's video on the screen. So just click and drag the screen just below the camera, so that when you see the camera, it is like you are looking into the eyes of the person. And at the same time, just below the camera, if you place the window where you are seeing the interviewer, then you can easily achieve both, looking into the camera as well as seeing the person's reaction. So to maintain a eye contact, look into the camera so that you can look into someone's eyes. And if it is a group call or if it is a conference call, what you can do is just have a look at all the persons in the group. Have a look at a glance over all the persons in the group, so that you can easily have an attention, or you can easily grab the attention of the people. So you can maintain a good eye contact when you are attending interview in a virtual environment, and use facial expressions. As I said, your face is the only body language when you attend interview virtually. So use more facial expressions and in front of the camera or on a video call, and always maintain a slight smile thoroughly. For the entire session, you can maintain a slight smile. That shows that you are not nervous. Sometimes, if you feel that is, if you are not smiling, then you will start react in a different way. Like you will start to show up you silently, or if you then you will start to show up very nervous. Then you will start to show up very anxious. So to avoid those kind of situations, what you can do is um, that is keep on smiling, keep on slight smile all the time, and raise your eyebrows to show some engagement. I mean, sometimes if you are asking some questions or if you are about to answer some questions, you can just shrinkle your eyes. So you can shrinkle your eyebrows, and you can just widen your eyes, and you can uplift your eyebrows. These kind of variations you can show in the body language. That shows that you are very much attentive, and also that shows that you are very eager to attend the presentations, as well as we are very eager to answer the question, as well as it shows that you are actually listening to the person who is speaking with you. And avoid frowning. Don't frown at the interview. That is not an acceptable behavior. So try to avoid frowning during the virtual interview sessions. And so these are all the things. So how do you use your body language? For example, people may have a different cultural background, and the positive gestures in one country may be in negative gestures. Yeah, when you are attending for an international schedule, or when you enter for an international company, you can do some things. Some body postures are different, so that creates a positive impact on one nation. At the same will create a negative impact on another nation. So how you can avoid these situations is, that is, if you are getting mixed sign from someone, ask them that what they are thinking. And after all, interrupting body language should be a complement to talking, and listening attentively. That also helps you a lot. That is listening attentively, and you can use mirroring in these kind of things when you are attending interview with different people. You just use mirroring, follow their gestures, so that is them, and also that helps you to build a connection with them. Right. So these are all the key points I want to include. So body language is a range of non-verbal signals that you use to communicate your feeling and intentions. So this includes posture, facial expressions, and hand gestures. And your ability to understand and interpret other people's language that help you to pick up on unspoken issue or feeling in others. So you can also use body language in a positive way to add strength to your own verbal messages. So these are the key points I want to conclude with the body languages. And so let's see what we have seen up to this. I want to conclude the body language with the revisal. So what is the body language? Body language is the unspoken part of the communication that we use to reveal our truth. So as I said, the body language plays a very important role. There are some body languages that shows that how much you are interested in listening, and how much you are interested in answering also. So what is the size of the body language? So through your verbal communication you are conveying only 7% of the message, and the remaining 93% comes from the body language. So Mehrabian's communication model, what is the fact he is saying means he is saying that you can use a very good body exposure only if your feelings are true and if your feelings are honest. If you are not sure about what you are speaking, then you would not be able to use your hand gestures and body languages well. So always prepare with the that is very confidential content so that you can use a body language well. So how to read the body languages? So there are some difficult conversations we can deal with, like the arm folded in front of the body, or minimum facial expressions, or their turn, or putting the eyes down. These kind of difficult postures that makes them not to speak. So when you are speaking with the audience, so you should not exposure this like this. And when you see your audience who are giving these kind of postures, you feel that they get bored. You can understand that they get bored with the presentation, and you can call any one of them and to ask the questions or to give their ideas on this presentation. And always project the positive, so because positive body language supports the points more clearly than the negative body language. And the body language for the very first good impression, have an open posture, always sit on an open posture like this. Do not put your arms on the hips so that you can create a confused state, and use a firm handshake. So when you are doing handshaking with a person, use a firm handshake and maintain good eye contact like this. So do not poke into the eyes for a long time, just maintain a good eye contact and speak with the person. And avoid touching your face. You should not touch your face when you are presenting yourself unnecessarily, but you can touch your face when you are asked a complex question to give the real face expression. So this is not a very correct expression in an interview. So when you are feeling that is, when you feel that you want to put your head, that is hand on your face or somewhere else on your body, you can avoid that by placing a handkerchief in your hand. So when the person feels that they need a hand or they need something to touch, you can keep a handkerchief. And what are all the public speaking skill? Have a positive posture first, and keep your head up like this. And when you are confused, go to the restroom and practice the posture and come back. So this is what you can do like this. And use open hand gestures like this. So if you feel that the person's audience or a little bit that is distracted, so you just come forward and speak with the person so that it will help them to regain their attention. So when you're attending an interview, use mirroring, because you are going to meet a different person. Sometimes you will get confused how to react. In that cases, you can follow mirroring. Mirroring means following the same gesture of the people, but you should not follow all the gesture. Just you can make the one or two gestures to be your gesture. And relax your body. So relax your body. Don't rush or don't be anxious. And if you're asked a complex question, it's okay, you just touch your skin or just scramble your head so that you show a confused state, but do not show all the time like this. So lighten up. You want to lighten up yourself. How you can lighten up yourself? You can speak with all the person with a clear thought, and you can ask all the person to share their thoughts with you. Those kind of things will lighten up, and it will create a unique in the interviewer's side. And also go slow. So do not run very fast, or do not rush very fast. So do not make the actions very fast, turning very fastly, standing very fastly, sitting very fastly, and that is giving plates very fastly. So these kind of thing you should not follow. You should follow a very gentle hand gesture. And mind your drink. Sometimes you would be given a drink, so just when you are drinking and when you are speaking, when you are doing both the things, have a drink and put the drink just below the stomach, so that you can easily show them that you can toggle the two situations. And always have a power course. and have a very relaxation power pose. Do not strain your body with a harmful power pose, because when you have a very relaxation power pose, that reduces the hormone level in your body. So when you come to the virtual interview or virtual session, so get your camera set up right. Do not go very close to the camera. Maintain a 60 is to 40 ratio display. And when you are doing gesture, be careful that you should not hit the laptop. And do not explore your home to the interview. That is where you are sitting, where you are sleeping, what you drink today, and what is your favorite toy. Do not show anything, so that it will go ahead. And maintain eye contact. For that, always look into the camera so that you can have a maintain eye contact. So face is the only one the interview is going to see. So what you can do is avoid, that is uh, go to that, so your face is front, and send your sentence is a video call. So what you can do is just use the facial expressions in a high way so that everyone can easily give their attention, and the different body language and the key points. So this is what I want to conclude here. What I want to conclude is, when coming to a body language, that is when you are coming to the body language, the more information you can share in a very less time and in a very less effort. So this is what the body language says. So mind your body language and keep tracking your body language always when you are presenting yourself. Thank you.